Whenever you feel lazy and don't want to do any work, you must be careful that you do not get accustomed to the life of laxity. An evil demon may be responsible for your laziness. This demon was very lazy as an angel while he was in heaven before he became a demon, and he continues to be lazy even now as a demon. In this video, I shall be talking about this demon that makes people unsuccessful in life. He was one of the most senior angels, a second-tier angel that belonged to the choir of principalities while he was in heaven. He will always come late to song rehearsals and even the presentation, and he is also one of the most unserious choristers in heaven. His name was Angel Belphegor. One of his best friend was Asmodel, who was a cherub and also one of the dedicated choristers in heaven. Apart from his best friend Asmodel, he also had a female friend named Hel, who was also part of the choir, and the three of them were always working together. He loved Angel Hel so much and likes to keep her company. Their friendship was so strong that he is always ready to stand in to defend her in the event of any opposition that she faces. Let's say he can take a bullet for her. But his only problem is this weakness of slothfulness. He will leave his heavenly duties and be involved in undefined projects at will. He spends hours designing and creating things that are not important at the moment, and the hours he spends in these projects affects his concentration in the daily task assigned to him in heaven. These undefined projects always lead him to unproductiveness hobbies like making useless things from items and materials that he finds around in heaven. He also likes to enjoy the luxury of heaven at the detriment of his own productivity and contribution to the principles of heaven. This earned him the name as the Angel of Sloth. One day Angel Mayhem, who was one of the fierce and jealousy heaven, had an altercation with Angel Hel, and their fight was so intense that he struck Angel and killed her, banishing her from heaven down to the abyss, where she will later become part of the hell where the evil are sent in the afterlife. Angel Belphegor could not console himself for the loss of one of his best friends that he slumped into depression and refused to accept the loss. It took Belphegor the 5 stages of grief to overcome the pains of losing Angel Hel. Even at that, he was not completely himself, and it is believed he did not forgive Angel Mayhem up to this day. The depression he suffered as a result of the loss of his dear friend made him become more slothful in all his undertakings, that he does not take anything about life seriously again. He will just wake up and be wandering all over the place aimlessly without giving any cause to the reason of such an attitude or course of life. Even when Angel Asmodel talks to him about taking life seriously and encouraging him to be more productive, he will not listen to him or take dressing. He became isolated and lonely, refusing friendship advances from other angels while he was in heaven. Now, when Angel Lucifer was planning to overthrow God, Angel Belphegor was invited to join the ranks of the rebellious angels, but he refused, though his friend Asmodel accepted to be part of the rebellious angels because he was promised a good reward. Belphegor still rejected the offer of a leadership position if he joins the camp of the rebels. Angel Michael sent some angels to convince him to join the ranks of the angels of God and fight for God, but still, he refused to join even the angels of God and fight for God. He still blamed God for allowing Angel Mayhem to kill his best friend Angel Hel, so he is not signing up for the army of God. He decided to be on the fence between the angels fighting for God and those fighting against God. So, when the war broke out, he decided to stay away from the arena of the fight. However, after the defeat of Lucifer and his angels, and when they were all cast out of heaven, God commanded Angel Michael to cast out Belphegor out of heaven also, because he refused to fight for God or indicate whose side he was. Anyone who is not with God is against him. There is no neutrality with God. You must either be for him or be against him. When Belphegor was cast out of heaven, unlike some of the fallen angels, he fell past the earth. Due to the anger with which Angel Belphegor was thrown out of heaven, he fell straight to the abyss, like Beelzebub, Mammon, and Asmodeus. When Belphegor woke up, he discovered that he, Mammon, Asmodeus, and Beelzebub were in the same quarters of the abyss, which the place of punishment for angels, before it was later transformed into hell to accommodate both the angels and humans. They heard Angel Lucifer calling out to them from another quarter of the abyss. Angel Belphegor, Beelzebub, Lilith, and the other angels went on a search party to look for Lucifer, who was thrown into the deepest quarters of the abyss. After getting Lucifer out of the prison, the fallen angels staged a takeover in the abyss, where they defeated the demons in charge of the abyss before they came and also took control of the other fallen angels that fell with them. They renamed the abyss as Hell, and Beelzebub became the prince in charge of Hell, while Lucifer was the overall leader of all the fallen angels in Hell and on earth. Angel Belphegor became one of the leaders of the angels in Hell, and Mayhem, who killed Angel Hell, his female friend, while they were in heaven, was subordinate to him. He now has the opportunity to take his pound of flesh and exact his revenge against Angel Mayhem. However, he was not interested in it again. Things have changed now, due to the fall from heaven. Angel Belphegor became the archdemon of sloth in hell, and he continued his habit of slothfulness, even though he was now a leader in hell. When Beelzebub decided to build the headquarters of hell, which he later named Pandemonium, Belphegor was instrumental to the design and the beautification of the inner part of the building. This is possible because while he was in heaven idling away his time and constructing things he was not assigned to do, he actually developed his engineering skill in the process. While Belphegor was involved in the design and beautification of the inner part of the Pandemonium, Angel Mulciber and Angel Mammon worked on the outside of the structure. At the end of the design and construction, Pandemonium stood as the most beautiful building in hell, and it was the center and headquarters for the control of all the activities of hell. Belphegor's effort in setting up things in hell made him rise to power and authority far above that which he attained while he was in heaven. Due to his dedication to design and making the interior part of Pandemonium look so good, Angel Belphegor was one of the leaders of the fallen angels that was recognized by Lucifer at the opening ceremony of Pandemonium, where Lucifer declared himself officially as the chief enemy of God forever. It was at the opening ceremony of Grand Rally and dedication of Pandemonium as the headquarters of hell that Angel Belphegor was elevated to order of the 7 princes of hell, with Satan, Lucifer, Mammon, Beelzebub, Asmodeus, and Leviathan as the other members of the order. They became the board of directors of hell, while still having other appointment besides being members of the board. With the fast elevation of Belphegor through the ladder and becoming a member of the board, the other angels became envious of him, and there was a great strife and murmurings in hell against his appointment. This contention became so heated that it almost brought another war in heaven. Even some of the members of the board felt that he was not qualified to have a seat at the table of the board, seeing that he was a very lazy and slothful angel. How did he become an angel that is leading other mighty fallen angels? It was Angel Lucifer that stood by him and supported him, because when he was imprisoned in hell, it was Angel Belphegor that was the first to discover the quarter of the prison he was restrained, and he and Beelzebub were able to relate and set him free. And the slothfulness the other angels are accusing him of was actually the reason he became a genius, and was able to develop his engineering skills, and as they can see, it was Angel Belphegor that designed the magnificent building they are dedicating today. The other angels saw reason to let Belphegor be, and the contention calmed down. While Belphegor was in hell, he used to sometime accompany Lucifer to earths when Lucifer goes to influence the life of humans and also the fallen angels. With his constant visit to earth and exposure, Belphegor started having interest in activities of humans on Earth, and he started influencing humans on some of the things they do on the Earth. It was during one of his sojourn on the Earth that he decided to join his soul with that of the pagan god Belphegor. When Belphegor was a human as the king of Moab, the angel of Merkaba attacked and killed him due to his refusal to do his bidding by offering him human sacrifice and for his people to worship him. Angel Belphegor joined his soul to that of the killed Belphegor to revive him back to life. He became a half-human, half-demon. Belphegor was able to live his purpose of influencing humans through the Baal god. He became the Moab god that is worshipped. He was said to be the god that possessed the golden calf and the Baal that the children of Israel worshipped during their time of Exodus. The Israelites got enticed in the worship of Belphegor through the relationship of their men with the women of Moab. They were seduced by these women to worship even their gods. He is still on earth today, influencing humans to worship him through the love for life of affluence without the commiserate work. Thank you for your support.